back here again on the Business Portal for this segment on Trends Analysis. Your host, Toti Casino. Our topic for this episode is 50 years in the printing industry, and we're celebrating the 50th founding anniversary of the Printing Industry Association of the Philippines. And with us are the officers of the PIAP, its president, Mr. Ronnie Sy, the secretary, Mr. Ric Tansipek, and with them is the guest from Exhibitor from HP Norde, Mr. Rico Delos Santos. So, Ric, what were the challenges of the first 50 years of PIAP? And then I'll ask Ronnie, what future did they have foreseen in the next 50 years?
Well, you know, in the past 50 years, the technological advancement was also there. It might be a little bit slow because it deals with mechanical, electrical, engineering.
Right.
But now that we are in the digital age, it deals with computers and, of course, ink technology as well. So it's going very fast compared to the past. The computer, as you know, changes every year. Our cell phones also change every year. See? So all this combined technology makes it very hectic for the printer to follow. So you have to be very keen and educated about it.
But you were able to weather all the types of economic slump in the first 50 years in your industry.
Yes.
Was it more trying on those times than?
Well, it's trying, and even now it's also challenging. So you just have to be very discreet in making your decision, whether or not you will transfer into the next kind of technology. You need to study, and I think one of the key there is how to market your new product printed from digital printing other than the offset printing.
So, Ronnie, what will be the next 50 years? I mean, just a typical corporation that's got a 50-year life. Now that you're the next 50 years, what are the forecasts that you have for your association?
We have just renewed our corporate terms for another 50 years last September 2 in SEC with the help of our SGB. So we have to adapt changes in our bylaws and want to cope up with the new technology, and so that we can be at par with the other industry.
And what would be the theme that you would go for the next 50 years or the next 10 years for that? How do you plan it out? Or have you looked into that? Have you planned out how to envision yourself in the next 2 to 3 years and onwards in the next 50 years?
We are on the process of evaluating. So perhaps we would like our association to be the premier in the printing industry.
Are there any other associations aside from the Printing Industry Association of the Philippines?
Yes, we have other sister associations like
But PIAP is the first organization in the printing industry. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, so you are the trailblazer. So in other words, that's why you're solid and you're trailblazing for another 50 years, because you are the first organization in the country. And of course, in any typical organization that's non-profit, non-stock, new other organizations, and there are more, as you said, sister associations. Like what are they? What associations are these, Mr. C?
We have the PPTF, the Philippine Printing Technical Foundation. So we have other industry, the Greater Manila printers, and some others in Davao, in the provinces.
Yeah. Before, in the early years, I think this association was set for Metro Manila only.
Yes.
And now it's already gone provincial.
Yes.
How mature are the printers in the provinces? Are they as good as what you have here in Manila?
I would say that they are as good, so long as they have the capital and the interest and passion to do the printing business. There is no reason why a printer in the province should be inferior to one in Manila.
Yeah. In terms of price performance, Rico, how much of an investment? I mean, compared to what the industry was many years ago when it was still electromechanical, are the costs now prohibitive or they're more competitive nowadays?
First of all, like what Ron is saying, there are a lot of printers. Digital printing is just including a certain workflow with the solution of the equipment. Now, what do you mean competitive in terms of?
In terms of the price, I mean, what Rick was saying, if you have enough capital, whether in your province, you're able to be productive or able to produce a kind. But then we know in the early years, printing was a very capital-intensive industry.
It's still capital-intensive, but the structure of the printing industry is that at some point one company would have all the workflow solution, like for pre-press, for printing, and for finishing. But the printing industry is a community. Sometimes when a certain printer would have the fulfillment of printing it, and then another company will specialize on finishing, and maybe another company would specialize on pre-press. So it's a pretty fluid and dynamic industry. It changes. In fact, the printing industry is here to stay. Way back in 1984, in the emergence of computing, desktop, etc., there was desktop publishing, which is actually in support of printing. On the other side, you have the office, which is productivity, which support the enterprise businesses. So the printing industry had the technology even before. So it will always evolve. It will always have the strength and the finances in order for it to go. It's a pretty dynamic industry. It can operate on a very slim, cost-effective structure. It can operate on a big scale, industrial type structure. It can operate on a global scale.
Okay.
So in terms of capital, it's very fluid.
Right. So we're saying that the future of going paperless, is that a myth or is that a reality?
For me, it's a myth. It's a myth because
we cannot do away without paper.
No, because the phenomena is whenever you do something. In fact, there's a new emergence of a flow right now. It's called the need for tactility.
Okay.
The need for touch. Anything that is actually online. In fact, right now, there's an emergence of another printing called 3D printing.
3D printing?
Yeah. The 3D printing came out because of all these virtual anime cartoon characters that you see on screen, on computers.
Yeah.
And somehow, people want to touch, action figures, etc. So there's always a need to touch something. There's always a need for print. It will not disappear. It's part of the solution on how you seal a certain. It's part of the solution for marketing and sales. Yeah. It's part of the solution for anything that for social life. You celebrate weddings, you celebrate graduation, you celebrate anniversary, and print is part of it.
Yeah.
No, I think as long as there's a human being on earth,
right,
print will be there. Like what I've said, it's just changing. There are several factors that is right now pulling it. One is, of course, the change that needs to happen to a printer. One, a printer must become a print service provider to a marketing service provider. He must translate himself from a person who's just taking orders to becoming an industry who's market sensitive, who's marketing savvy. That's one. The second one, he has to embrace the idea that before it was a one-to-many thing, you have something and it's for everyone.
Okay.
Right now, it's one to few. You have something and it's for a few. Publishing will go on that direction. Before, books will be published and it will be published for every school children. Right now, there's an emergence of the workbook. Everything needs to be customized because, a certain local school children will not have the same need as the local school children of another region. So there's an emergence of and digital printing is the answer to that. So the one to few. Then lastly, of course, is that you have to embrace the idea of the emergence of the global economy. And for that, you have to embrace digital marketing.
Okay.
You cannot let go of that. It's part of going to be the solution of the printer to embrace the digital world.
All right. Ric, is the the Printing Industry Association of the Philippines, is that the only one organization that exists of that nature in the region, or are there some similar outfits in the other countries in the region?
There are similar organizations like us. In fact, in every country, there are similar organizations.
Okay. And have you done any collaboration or meetings with these other associations?
Of course, in the past and even at the present, we are in constant touch with our counterparts worldwide, from Europe to the US, to China and Southeast Asia countries. We have a continuous flow of communication with each other.
Okay.
Now, it's also because of that we can exchange ideas and help each other in many ways. For instance, this exhibit that we are holding on September from 18 to 21, it is a way of exchange also. The foreign companies who are the technology providers, they go and show, they go and exhibit worldwide. And this we do for our countrymen because many of our countrymen do not have the chance to go abroad and visit these exhibits, and we bring them here to let our countrymen experience.
Ronnie, do you have any foreign visitors coming over here? Foreign exhibitors or foreign sponsors coming here to your exhibit?
We have a few foreign exhibitors in together with the local exhibitors.
Okay. Who are these foreign exhibitors? And what would be they bringing in? Are they new technologies that they're going to be bringing in here?
Actually, Toti, most of the foreign technology providers are being represented by local companies. Because in the sense of marketing, they would rather be more effective if they assign the task of marketing and selling to the local companies.
Okay.
And they will just be the one to support it.
Okay.
That's the easier way.
Okay, so would that put us at par, as you were saying earlier, Rico, that doesn't make us behind. So whatever technology available worldwide, our local distributors have that.
Yes. I think as far as Norde is concerned, we have set an objective to distribute in the Philippines either the number one or the number two. Because that's really a misnomer if you're number one or number two. So let's just be safe. Top brands as far as visual communications, we bring it into the country, we show it to the printers. That's why we join exhibitions, so that we could showcase all these things. We do lunch and learn activities, and in fact, next year we'll be having our own building, which is really going to be a haven for all the printing industry. In order for them to see the solutions, we want to provide every cutting edge opportunity for them to expand their business.
All right. We're down to our last minute. Ronnie, have any parting words for our viewers? You can face the camera there. About the exhibit, would like to invite them over.
We would like to invite our audience to go to the Print Philippines 2013 exhibit, which will be held on September 18 to 21. It will be free to the public. We also conduct free technical seminars during the duration of the 4 days.
Okay, there you have it from the Printing Industry Association, Mr. Ronnie Sy, the president. With him is the secretary, Mr. Ric Tansipek, and their guest exhibitor, Mr. Rico Delos Santos. This has been your host for Trends Analysis, Toti Casino. We hope you learned something new today, and thank you. Do stay tuned for the next program.